Hello all my Exiles and Conan fans out there, it's Andy here, back again with another video here on Conan Exiles 3.0 Age of Sorcery. I hope you're all doing good, and I thought in this quick guide we'll take a quick look at Thralls and sort of beginner sort of tips and tricks for just starting out. We're not going to go too deep into anything or too deep into any armours, because obviously that's more for later game. And there are also a few other YouTubers out there at the moment who have already gone into this in quite a bit of detail, that you can check them out if you want to know about endgame now, but this is more sort of geared for somebody who's just starting out. So for example, when you would spawn, you'll spawn either here or just across here. Typically what I would recommend to do if you're over here or even here is get across here, get down to here, and you want to come to this location where we are here, because one of your first journey steps is to go to the Sentinels, which are those big statues there. Oh, sorry about that, I don't know what that was. There's a guy on a campfire, an NPC that you can talk to, which will give you one of your first journey steps. You can do that. And just around that corner there are two little campfires. There's one in the corner sort of over here and one a bit further over, just like this one here, where you'll find a couple of NPCs or Thralls sitting around, either 2 or 3. Now at this one, for example, as you can see here, there's a couple sat here, or there's usually, yeah, 1 or 2 sat here, and you will occasionally get one, as you can see over there, wandering about at the back there. These will sometimes jump up. I am cloaked and in God mode at the moment, by the way, this is why they're not attacking me. You'll find these sat here, and if we look, they are just level 1, and then this guy, there's a fighter, he's level 1 as well. And what's this one over here? Another low level again. Now sometimes these two especially will jump up, because just here there is usually a crocodile that wanders around. Oh yeah, there he is. They've obviously already killed it, but this crocodile normally will spawn around about here, and it will attempt to go towards them, or they will spot it and they'll aggro over to it and fight it. Sometimes it'll kill them, sometimes they'll kill the crocodile. But yeah, you'll find these little camps pretty much all over the map. Now it'll either be an area where there's lots of these big fireplaces, or there's just a couple. Excuse me, sorry about that. Yeah, a couple like this. Like I say, if you go through there, there's one of these just on the left, another further down, again with a couple of different Thralls on them. When you start out in this area, which is obviously called Noob River, you'll get pretty much level 1s and level 2s, and they can be fighters, archers. Now also there is a sorcerer spawn on the river as well, for a sorcerer. Occasionally you might get a level 3 and an odd legendary, but typically they are level 1, level 2. You can get cooks, blacksmiths, armourers, carpenters as well at different spawns. But typically, and there will be male or female, but typically this is what you'll get. As we can see here, we've got a Zingarian Exile, and they're number 1. And if we look at their stats briefly, as you can see there, this is what they would come out with out of the box once you've had, or off the wheel. Once you turn them up, very very low HP, 334, and you're level 2. Not a lot greater health, but 428, sorry, so they do come out with slightly more, but not a great deal. So they're pretty much, they're okay to start with if you're just starting out, but for the sake of the effort of trying to knock them out and making them a worthwhile fighter to even help you at first, you want to try and get yourself a level 3 if you can. These can be a little bit harder to knock out, because again they are slightly higher health, but this particular one is only 490, because again, even though that says fighter level 3, these are what we call the tier 1 Thralls, meaning that the tier 1s are all sort of these in this area, then you've got like tier 2, tier 3, like more in this area, like the Black Galleon over here. Lots of camps all around here, and Sepa Maru, and then you go up into the Highlands area, as this is called, so the green area, and then your tier 4, like you can get tier 4s I think in this area, but mainly in the volcano, and they are same numbers, level 1, level 2, level 3, but you'll find with a level 1 from higher up in the map they will have higher health because they are more like a tier 3 or a tier 4 level. But if you're just starting out, yeah, by all means, if you get a level 1, knock them out. If you just want to try it once you're at the level to learn your throw wheel, make your first small throw wheel, make yourself some gruel, which you do on a fireplace using plant fibre and seeds you can harvest from bushes. So if you just collect all the little bushes that you see all dotted around, pop your seeds on your campfire with some wood, some plant fibre, that will make gruel, pop that in your throw wheel, and depending on the level that they are, obviously the higher number that they are, the longer they will take to tame, and then once they become yours you can place them down and you get a mixture, like I said, male, female, all different hairstyles, and the higher the number, the higher the health is. These have been nerfed obviously a lot in this update, so even the level 1 did used to have slightly higher health than what they have now, but it's kind of what they've done with it. What you can then do is, if you get to the level where you've unlocked your first armourer's bench, if you're using this armour, for example, which is the light armour, and this is on a level 1 fighter, as we can see there, the health is exactly the same, but as you can see, looking at their stats there, it just tells you what they come out of the box with. If I go on that menu, you can see up the top there, their armour value on the right, that's what armour they would be getting from wearing that, which isn't hugely beneficial, but if you want to put them in something rather than the rags, you could craft this once you've got enough hide and materials to do it. Then once you learn medium armour, this is what the medium would look like, and then eventually the heavy. And as I say, I'm not going to go too much detail into armours and what they are and all the numbers and everything, because it could make this video go on too long. This is purely just a quick start guide for people just starting out. And any of these armours you can craft at your armourer's bench, like I said, the light, the medium, the heavy, and you could get your thrall to wear them. Or even if you haven't got a thrall at this point but you've got your armourer bench, you can make yourself these armours quite early game. You just need to kill a few shellbacks or crocodiles to get the hide. Pop the hide on your tannery, make it into leather, and then you'll need other bits and pieces like twine. I think that's it at first, hide and twine, make that into leather, and it will say you require a light padding for the light armour, medium padding for the medium obviously, and heavy for the heavy. And your armourer's bench looks like this. So if this is your early level one, so for example you would craft it in your bench, all your 5 pieces, so head, chest, hands, legs, feet, and as you can see over on the left there, the armour value is pretty rubbish, but having that small percentage of armour, as daft as it sounds, if you're staying on the river at the beginning, is a lot better than having next to no armour with just the coarse clothing on. And then once you get to the right level again, once you can learn like your epic armours, you can make your improved armourer's bench, which gives you more slots, and then you can start looking at things like making your thick hide, or getting your thick hide rather, which you get from your bigger animals like apes, gorillas, those type of animals. Your hides come from gazelles, shellbacks, those type of animals. This one you get from crocodiles, and you can also get others like this one, which is rhino hide, which you use for medium armour. So when you're up to making your perfected medium padding, you would need that. And then elephant hide, which you get off elephants, obviously, is for your perfected heavy padding when you're making like the epic and higher armors. And then you've got lots of different animals all around throughout the world. So you've got bear pelt, feline pelt, hyena pelt, and wolf pelt. From those 4 different animals, that's what they look like. And you gather those, as I say, from those different animals by either using a hatchet or a skinning knife or a pick. You'll get a mixture of meat, bones and the hide, or the appropriate for whatever that animal gives. So that's pretty much it on them. As I say, armour wise, I'm not going to go into too much detail. If you want to know a bit more, there are quite a few YouTubers out there at the moment, 2 very good ones who I follow and also watch. 2 very helpful people. One is called Whack4863, check him out on YouTube, and the other is Firespark81. Both very knowledgeable on the game. They know a lot about the armour and give different guides and go into quite a bit of detail on specifics if that's what you're looking for. Now, if you're carrying on in the game and you found you're progressing up the map a little bit, you want to get yourself, like I say, a fighter 3, which you could get. I don't think I've got it on the map, but just about here you've got a cave called Sinner's Refuge, and you'll find again tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 level, like tier 1 level, but fighters 1, 2, 3, even an odd legendary if you're lucky, carpenters, blacksmiths, all the different professions in that cave. And if we look at this one again here, because this is a higher tiered level 3 fighter, she comes straight out of the box with 2057 health. This is what's known as a Sumerian fighter, and typically these level 3 Sumerian fighters you would get around this area, more or less up here, and this area known as Mouths of the Dead. It's where you get a lot of your Sumerians from. And for those especially who are already at late game now, you'll know all about these. And you can also get your bearer again, which comes in level 1, 2, 3, depending on where you get them from, depends on the amount of health they get. I mean, she's got a good amount of health there, not even leveled up, 1715, again that will go higher. And you could pop them if you get yourself one of these in the light, the medium or the heavy armour. The better armour you give them, the more chance they've got at surviving. Once they're tamed, if you want to increase their vitality or their health, you would feed them the steak, grilled steak, which you make from your savoury flesh, or if you want to increase their strength, then you keep feeding them the gruel that you use to tame them. Now, as you progress on, like I say, another fighter you could get near the Cimmerians, especially at Mounds of the Dead. Again, that location is just up here on the map. Come on. So it's this area here. There's a chance for a Cimmerian berserker that kind of wanders around the little rivers down here, and you can also potentially get one wandering up in the camp. If we zoom in a bit, that's up on the hills around here, little camp. You could even get one wandering around there. They do take a bit more to knock out, but if you've got a decent level 3 or a bearer with decent armour on, give them a truncheon, get them to knock them out. And again, they come in obviously male, female, all the different hairstyles again, and they will come typically out of the box with 2884 health there, roundabouts there, because they've also been nerfed, but again, they are probably your best mid to end game fighter to look for. This is how they'll come again once you turn them up. One idea for armour is you can pop them in this. As you can see there, the Cimmerian Berserker, he is wearing what is known as the Cimmerian Steel. Just quickly show you his stats there, that's how he looks. So if we look at his infantry, this armour you would need to be I do believe it's level 60 or slightly less, but you'd need to be able to make the epic armours, which is what these are. And as you can see by the armour numbers there, he gets a lot higher armour because of what he's wearing. But the bonuses with the Sumerian steel is that you get an extra 20 health per piece. Ah, yeah, let me just stop a second. Those that are eagle-eyed who know the game would have noticed when I looked at her then. If I take the helmet off a minute, it might make it even easier. That one doesn't say Sumerian Berserker. No, that's not a mistake, I didn't mess up. I did that deliberately. Again, Sumerian steel. And for those who know, of course, it is Delincia Snowhunter, who again is another fantastic fighter. I've actually got one on my server that I play on at the moment, and she's doing pretty good. She comes out with slightly more health, over 3000. Again wearing the Sumerian steel, and she can be found actually in a few different locations, but typically, again, if you're looking for Delincia, you want to look up on these campsites all around here. Again, she can be wandering around here, or typically I found if she spawns, she can be sat up on this little separate island here at Mounds of the Dead. I'll go over there shortly and show you what I mean so you know which island I'm talking about, but typically she can be there, or I do believe there is a little camp sort of around here or a bit higher up that she can also spawn, but Mounds of the Dead is typically the best place. Another pretty solid fighter there, so if you choose between a Berserker or Delincia, I have one of each on my server at the moment. I've got a Berserker and a Delincia, and they are both pretty decent still. Now that's the Sumerian steel, as I say, which increases health, which is great. Another option you've got is this one, the Void Forest Dragon. And now this is the heavy version of the dragon. As you can see, that's on the female, that's on the male. Let me just take the helmet off a moment that you can see. So that's female. And if we look at these, we see with the helmet, it's called classed as heavy armour again, and that gives a plus 20 to her health. The chest piece, heavy armour again, but this time now, this gives a strength weapon damage, which is really good. So that's boosting her strength weapon damage, which the weapon she is using is a strength weapon. Gauntlets, again heavy armour, and they are giving a bit more health again. And then the leggings, legendary again, they give her a plus 10 to stamina. And the boots are another health 20 again. So you could put them in the full set of that even, which would help them out as well. It doesn't have to be that, you could even mix and match if you wanted. You could give them a couple of pieces of this, a bit of the Sumerian steel. This set I'm wearing is the Hyperborean Slave, which you could make for one of your early game Thralls like we saw outside. You can make this pretty early on if you unlock it in your feats, or for any of your Thralls really, but this one at low level is if I remember correctly, a strength weapon. So if you could make this set even, which you will need fur and iron bars. Fur you can get, I say relatively easy, these guys can be a little bit tough, but if you're prepared for a bit of a fight and you've got a decent fighter with you, or you're kitted up pretty well, just sort of all in this area, all around here, you've got the gorillas and the apes. If you kill them, they will give you fur, and you could make this armour for your Thralls even, or even for yourself. And just to throw it in there because we don't want to miss it out, if you're endgame, you could even switch yourself out into this. Now I can't stand the helmet on this set, I'll be honest, I think it's awful. But on my server I've actually changed that helmet to look like a pair of earrings, and the armour itself looks different as well, which you can now do with the Thaumaturgy bench. So long as you know the recipe for Silent Legion, you'll be able to change the appearance of this. From this we get strength weapon from the helmet, same again from the chest, health from the hands, stamina from the legs, and carry capacity from the feet. You could get away with putting this on your thrall, but what I would potentially do is possibly swap out the legs and the feet for the Void Force Dragon, because your thrall doesn't really need carrying capacity. Stamina, yeah, they could benefit from that, but I'm not sure if they do. So I would swap those out for the Void Force Dragon so that you're getting the extra bit of health and stamina, and it actually gives you a little bit more taking it from that set than it does from the Cimmerian. So yeah, that is just an alternative set when you're endgame. As I say, it's just a quick brief look. I don't want to go too deep in anything too heavy so that people understand where we're coming from. So just to recap, those were your heavies. You're just starting out, you've got your fighter 1, your fighter 2, your fighter 3, all low level, all kind of scattered all around here. There's quite a big camp at the end here, which I would get a few levels and a bit of decent armour and a low level fighter first, because even though they're all quite low, if you get surrounded by these guys they could possibly kill you. And there's a few little camps dotted all around here. There's one just under this bridge here. There's also a camp on here, and then they're literally all over the map. As you go around exploring, you'll find all those further on. And then, like I say, the sooner you can get yourself or a thrall, or you and a thrall into light armour, just then progress your way to medium or into heavy until you can get yourself to your endgame goals, where you can get the actual proper armour that actually gives you some actual value and some actual decent stats. So yeah, that's more or less it for Thrall Guide down here. What I'll quickly do to end this video is I will quickly just teleport over to the Mounds of the Dead, and I'll show you roughly whereabouts that is and quickly where Delincia will spawn. So I'll catch you in a second. Alrighty, so here we are at Mounds of the Dead. As I say, this hill or little rock just behind me is where I was talking about where you can find Delincia. And if we quickly just run this way, down through here, just be wary these berserkers do hit hard. Obviously they won't attack me as I am, as I say, cloaked and using God mode. Let me just check I'm on the right way. Excuse my stamina. And I haven't done, have I? No. So not at this side, but if you carry on where I just was then. I don't know why my stamina's running out so easy. Probably with all this stuff I'm carrying. But typically, if you come from there, checking this water all around here, you will find that there is a berserker that wanders around. Normally they would be, I thought I'd gone the right way, but I don't think I have. Unless they haven't spawned for some reason, there is usually one. I think it's over here. Yeah, so you go over this little bit. Ah yes, there we are. So you come over here, and either he or she will be wandering around usually just in this area here. And as you can see where we are there on the map, so you want to come to the right of this little island and over to the right, and they typically wander in this area. That's one of your best spots to look for your berserker. And if we're looking for Delincia, you want to come back. As you can see there, that's the water, main Mounds of the Dead. This is the mountain top that we were just stood in front of. And as you can see here, we've got a Cimmerian fighter. We've got another one sat there, that's a bearer, is it? Yep, bearer 2. There's a fighter there, Taskmaster. And if she spawns here, I think normally she would spawn on this spot here. So where this fighter's sat now is where Delincia would normally spawn. If she hasn't spawned, sometimes if you check around here, or up there, like up and around that little bunker there, or occasionally I think she can wander up here. May not be doing it at the minute because he's there, but if you check in this area, she could be wandering in this area up here. Sometimes I have seen her wandering around here, or like where these guys are now, but typically that little spot up on top of that hill is your best spot there for where she could be. And while you're up here, if you need to get the obelisk, that is right there on top of that little rock. So if you were coming up here from down south, the obelisk is like over this side here, and you've got pretty good access from here then up into the north and up into the snow. So yeah, that is Mounds of the Dead. And while you are here, just before I forget, you can also come and talk to this guy here. I won't do it now, but you can come and talk to Braggart and he'll tell you a story about what's going on around here and different things. So yeah, that's just another quick one, like I say, a quick introduction to fighters and my recommendations. So yeah, to summarise, I would say if you're really early game, just starting out, yeah, get a level 1 as soon as you can get your throw wheel and you can make your truncheon and your bindings. If you get yourself a little fighter 1, try and keep them alive as best as you can. Ideally get yourself up to level 2, but you want to try and get yourself a fighter 3 sort of as soon as possible. And if you can get a decent fighter 3, they should see you through until you get further up in the map and more into a spot where you actually want to be. So that is it for me, guys. If you enjoy this sort of content, like I say, do give me a thumbs up on the video. Just helps to YouTube to push the algorithm out more to promote this video to more people, and more eyes on the videos means more watch time for me, and it shows that you guys appreciate this sort of content and you want to see more of it. The fact that you're sharing it with other people, and while you're down there, why not consider subscribing? I am looking at going to be doing some live streams on an online PvE server that I play on, which I am already max level and got a base set up, but I just thought we might just stream that sometimes when I'm playing, just show people what I'm doing and where we're at end game on there, and maybe some let's play on single player coming up very very soon. So thanks for checking this out, guys. Have fun on Conan Exiles Sorcery 3.0. Any questions, do let me know in the comments below. And for now, and from me and from Braga, we will say farewell until the next one. Take it easy, guys. Bye for now.